See, this is the real dark side of semen retention, is this flat line. I've already made a video. Maybe I'll put that at the end, on the end screen. A previous video I made on flatline. It's real. It's super real. It's not that everybody's going to experience it to the same degree of intensity. This is where things get weird. This is where things get confused. Because you'll see someone, number one, don't believe anybody almost what they say. Everybody, they just lying or exaggerating on some level all the time to try to make themselves look better. They always exaggerate the positives and under-exaggerate the negatives. This is human nature. Factor that in when you're reading comments or listening to videos or anything else. This will help save you from, this will decrease the brain damage that you do to yourself when you start comparing yourself to other people. Not everybody is going to experience, look, when I talk about flatline, I'm taking it up a notch. Let's call it extreme flatline. Another word for this is, you can say, post-acute withdrawal syndrome. Some people, because your nervous system and other factors, you experience a heavy withdrawal. I did when I quit smoking weed when I was 15 and went to a rehab. I was flipping out. Other people were there for smoking weed and they're like, what's wrong, bro? Like, just like, what's the big deal? I was like, I had major withdrawals, big time bipolar, and also just weird images when I'd close my eyes. I went through some weird withdrawals, super intense. All right, so in the same, some people die from detoxing off alcohol, any drug, nicotine, any of this stuff, coffee, sex addiction, dopamine addiction. Some people experience a hell of a withdrawal. So you have to ride this out. You have to be smart too. Don't try to quit 5 addictions at the same time if you have a sensitive nervous system. You're just going to go into psychosis. What happens to some people, these people I'm talking about with the sensitive nervous system, when you stop this addiction, there's a lot of stress your body starts to go through. Your cortisol levels crank up. That's stress. That's fight or flight steroids. Okay? Your body's tripping because you're not giving it the drug you used to give it all the time. Then you can stop sleeping. You can even stop eating. You're living off of cortisol, basically. That'll make you crazy. You go through that 4 or 5 days. I had COVID, I don't know, 4 years ago or something. It attacked my nervous system. I already have a sensitive nervous system. And that's what happened. That happened to me some years ago too when I tried to quit nicotine all at once. I'm one of these people that have flatline severe withdrawals. Now I already told you when I quit smoking weed as a teenager. Cortisol levels crank up. You can stop sleeping, stop eating. What does that do? Cause more stress, cause more cortisol. So you're in a very accelerated downward spiral into just going crazy. So you got to be careful with this thing. I'm sharing this to let you know if you experience some of these symptoms, like, you're not crazy. Some people experience this. You got to ride it out. Look, everybody's addicted to something. Everybody, even your masters, they're addicted to food or drinking their chai or coffee or something, nicotine, something on some level. So this isn't about being so pure, squeaky clean. You just sit here and, just it's not like that. Progress, not perfection. Of course, try to be as free from as many addictions as possible. This is natural. But what you want to do is pick those addictions that have the worst side effect and consequences. Let's say you're smoking weed, drinking alcohol, sex addict, masturbation addict, and you're smoking cigarettes or something. I don't know which one you got to do first. You got to check. You got to check and see. But my point is, the PMO addiction, you want to let that go. The nicotine, for example, or even coffee, you can work around that. Now, if somebody's addicted to nicotine, and I tell people this on the consults too, I can sense if they're like not ready to give it up. So I say, okay, stop smoking the commercial garbage from the store that you get. Order some, it's called mapacho from Peru. Or if you're in America, go to leafonly.com. It's natural tobacco, organic, no chemicals, no nothing. So use that. If you're going to use something, find the thing that has the least amount of consequences. The PMO, there's no healthy way of doing it. Oh, also, if you're going to use tobacco, better to chew it. Smoking's a direct hit to the lungs, a direct dopamine hit, and yeah, it's not so good. PMO, there's no healthy way to do it. You need to stop that. Grace will help you. Grace will help you be free of something that's really like not good for you to do. All right? So that you need to stop. And I suggest, as I always say in some of the videos and when I respond to messages and when I do consults, go to Sex Porn Addicts Anonymous. Google it. You can go to Zoom online meetings. You're in a fellowship, a group. It's a 12-step program. It's underpinned with spirituality, and you have the fellowship of people who understand you. This is the best thing. You can't do this alone. Not when you're a real addict. Some people are real addicts, and they go through real withdrawals. Those people need help. Why do you think Alcoholics Anonymous was founded in 1940 something? Because God He put it here to help people. It's helped millions and millions of people get sober who couldn't otherwise. It tells you in the book what used to happen to these people. And see, other people don't understand. They're like, man, just stop. I stopped. You see, this is where the confusion originates that I was alluding to in the beginning of the video. Somebody else, they just stop. They'll just stop something. They just stop smoking or stop smoking weed or PMO. They didn't have such a hard time. They're like, just stop, man. Like, well, what's the big deal? It's not like that for everybody. Some people have a hell of a time stopping. So that's why I'm a proponent of these external tools that you can use, such as 12-step programs. Otherwise, I don't know. See, some people, they just want to come to me, but I can tell I can't help them. Were you going to give me $100 every day for a year? I wouldn't take it anyway, because I cannot help certain people. Yeah, I can help on some level, but I'm not able to give the real help that you need. You have to go to these programs and go all the time. You need to be dosed with this grace and positive thinking around others who not only struggled with this, but have transcended it. You need to be in that atmosphere all the time. If you're a real addict and you're really, you're having some serious flatline problems. Yeah, continue to watch the videos on YouTube. You use all these tools in your toolkit. You can have a consultation with me, once a week, once a month. But you need a big arsenal if you're really, you're really down there. So that's what I'm trying to say. The severe flatline's no joke, and it can last. It can last, I don't know, a few years. When you give up the PMO, that's one level of withdrawal. When you give up the edging, it's a deeper level of withdrawal. It's like if you're water fasting for 3 days, 5 days, that's a certain level with detox. You're going to feel it. When you start hitting 10, 15, 20, 30 days, you start digging deeper. It's another level of withdrawal. It's the same thing. When you quit PMO, that's one level. When you quit edging, that's another level. This has to be understood. The mind, unfortunately, the mind wants you to go back into this addiction. So when you start experiencing severe withdrawal symptoms, your mind's going to say there's something wrong with you. It's gonna tell you all kinds of things. It knows your buttons. It knows what to tell you to go back and do this addiction. It knows all that. That's why you need to be around a group of people that can catch that out. You can't do it alone. It's going to get you. Mind's going to get you every time at some point. So be smart. Don't be so proud. The ego. I don't need. you're just hurting yourself. Be humble. Here's the paradox. When you're, there's all, the whole life's paradox. When you admit to your deep self, like, I am seriously powerless over this, like I can't stop, whether it be PMO, whether it be edging, whatever. When you admit to the core, like, I can't stop, a deeper power will start to arise in you, which can stop. This is the whole premise of surrender. Surrender doesn't mean like, I surrender, just beat me up. No, you surrender the limitation of mental power so that you can access the real power that created this whole existence. That's the point of surrender. So I hope you got something from this video. Leave me any questions you have. Go see my spiritual channel, Spiritual Renaissance. And go see my other channel, Transcending Shadows, because I talk about lifestyle habits that give you power and raise your vibration. Diet, company, environment, introspection, spiritual practice, being of service to others. All those things, again, are tools in your toolkit that you need to really overcome some of these addictions on the deepest level. You want to be free. You want to be really free. You don't want to, just be identified with your number of days that you have on a streak. Yeah, I got a year. Okay, whatever. How do you feel inside? You want to be free to where you can go out in public. You can be around a bunch of pretty girls. They can be giving you play, and you're unmoved. You don't deny it, nor do you go into it. You enjoy it. You're in the moment. Something, oh yeah, good. How you doing? Yeah. But you're not like, you're not like being pulled by it. Everyone's a slave to their mind on some level and their emotions. You get to where you transcend that. You're still in the world, but you're not being pulled all over by your senses and your addictions and all that. This is the end goal. And that takes time. So what? If you get that level of freedom at 69 years old and then you die at 70, you still won everything. This is how you gotta see it. All right, see you.